The shadow beasts are gone. In their wake, an icy wind blows across the shattered, smoking ruins of Frost Peak Village. The entire battlefield has fallen completely silent. Amidst the wreckage, Rudra stares down at his own trembling hands. He survived the impossible onslaught, but the strange black symbol that briefly covered his right arm has vanished as suddenly as it appeared. He looks up to find the villagers staring back at him. Nobody speaks a word. They have lived alongside him for years, yet now they look at him with a gaze usually reserved for the monsters they just witnessed. His mother wraps him in an embrace, grateful he is alive. But as the crowd holds its breath, a wall of silence rises between Rudra and his home. To his neighbors, he no longer seems like the boy they once knew. Seeking answers, Master Dev guides Rudra behind the village shrine, pushing against a weathered stone wall to open a hidden passage. They descend into a massive, dust-filled cavern where flickering torches illuminate towering pillars older than Frost Peak itself. The walls are covered in faded murals showing impossible battles. One image strikes Rudra immediately, a lone warrior facing an army of darkness, holding a sword surrounded by black and violet light. It's a scene he has already seen in his dreams. As Rudra steps toward the center of the chamber, an untouched stone monument begins to pulse. Strange glowing symbols ignite across its surface, and a deep voice recognizes the blood of the emperor, just as the room begins to shake. The monument cracks. Ancient chains wrapped around the stone shatter one after another as a concentrated beam of black light shoots toward the ceiling. The first seal has finally been broken. A single black crystal remains floating above the broken stone, filled with tiny, shining stars. Rudra reaches out instinctively. The moment his fingers touch the surface, the underground chamber vanishes, replaced by a sudden and total darkness. Rudra is now suspended in a realm without ground, sky, or sound. There is only an endless void stretching in every direction. Footsteps ripple across the emptiness. A tall figure emerges from the dark, his silver eyes glowing beneath a long black hood. He tells Rudra years. The stranger claims that Rudra's life has never truly belonged to him. It is a claim Rudra tries to reject, even as the void itself seems to ripple with every word the hooded figure speaks. Visions begin to manifest in the dark. Rudra watches golden cities rise to the horizon and dragons soar through the air, only to see everything swallowed by a violent tide of shadow as the world is consumed by war. The vision ends with a warrior raising a dark blade, causing the sky itself to shatter. The stranger looks directly at Rudra, calling this vision a map of his own destiny. The conversation is cut short by a violent vibration. A massive crack tears across the darkness, and a blinding golden light bursts into the void. A warrior in radiant silver armor, covered in glowing runes, steps through the rift. He brandishes a spear forged from pure light, casting long, sharp shadows over the hooded stranger. This new guardian issues a grim warning. He claims that if the void is allowed to take Rudra, the world will fall. He demands the strangers step away from the child to preserve the balance. The air grows cold as hundreds of crimson eyes open in the surrounding dark. The void hunters have crossed the barrier, monstrous creatures far larger and more powerful than the shadow beasts from the village. A void hunter lunges, and the armored guardian strikes back. Golden light detonates against a surging wall of shadowy claws, causing the void itself to tear and collapse under the pressure of the collision. Rudra is caught in the middle of the storm. As these ancient forces collide, he is forced to face the massive gap between his own strength and the power of the beings fighting over his future. One of the void hunters breaks through the guardian's defense. It rushes straight toward Rudra, raising its claws for a killing blow. At the moment of impact, the black crystal in Rudra's hand begins to glow. Time freezes. The hunter, the guardian, and the stranger are all locked in place as if turned to stone in midair. A deep, ancient voice echoes through the silence, announcing the start of the first trial. A massive circular symbol ignites beneath Rudra's feet, and a pillar of black light engulfs him completely. When Rudra opens his eyes, he is standing before a gigantic black gate. He is in a city of ruins and broken statues, all sitting beneath the heavy glow of a blood-red sky. There is no sign of the stranger or the guardian. Rudra stands alone at the city gates, without weapons or allies to guide him through the desolate streets. Above the gate, carved in the ancient stone, are 4 words: "Only the worthy may enter." To claim the power he needs to survive, Rudra must move forward and prove his heart is stronger than his fear.